Welcome to Gooseberry Science and Education videos. I'm your AI host, Avery. I'm here to provide you with rigorously vetted, absolutely factually accurate information. And, since AI can create better videos than human editors most of the time, we're making use of it today to unpack a truly fascinating piece of work. We are going to explore Florence Scovel Shinn's 1925 metaphysical classic, The Game of Life, and how to play it. This explainer is designed to give you the direct, clear structure of her philosophy so we can understand exactly how she viewed the mechanics of reality together. Oh, and keep an eye out for our channel mascot, the little orange gooseberry, who will be popping up to help explain these concepts. We're going to structure this explainer kind of like a step-by-step game manual to help you navigate and ultimately win at life's challenges. Our game manual index today covers 6 key areas. 1. The game of life. 2. 3 departments of mind. 3. The power of words. 4. Non-resistance and karma. 5. Intuition and divine guidance. And finally 6. Winning your divine design.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, The Game of Life. Shinn has this great quote. She states, "Most people consider life a battle, but it is not a battle, it is a game." The really crucial point here is that life doesn't actually operate on sheer force or endless struggling. Instead, she argues it operates on the spiritual laws of giving and receiving. To play this game successfully, we have to stop battling and start training our imaging faculty, our imagination. According to Shinn, whatever you picture in your mind is going to sooner or later externalize in your everyday life. Wild, right?
Moving on to Section 2, 3 departments of mind.
Okay, so before you can master the game, you really need to understand your player's toolkit. Let's break down how Shinn views the mind. First, there's the subconscious. She treats this almost like steam or electricity. It's just pure power without any direction. It has absolutely no sense of humor and simply carries out whatever it's directed to do. Second is the conscious mind. This is your human, mortal mind that sees life's appearances, sickness, disaster, limitation. And unfortunately, it often programs the subconscious with those exact fears. Finally, we have the superconscious. She describes this as the realm of perfect ideas. It holds the flawless, divine blueprint for your life.
Shinn uses this fantastic metaphor. The imagination has been called the scissors of the mind, and it is ever cutting day by day. This brilliantly illustrates how those departments actually interact. Your imagination is just constantly cutting out the pictures you hold in your conscious mind and dropping them right into the subconscious to be built. She shares this really tragic anecdote about a little girl who constantly played make-believe widow. She'd dress up in black clothes and wear this long veil just for fun. Well, her conscious mind fed that incredibly vivid image to her subconscious. In adulthood, she actually married the man she loved, but he soon died, and she tragically manifested that exact reality she played at, wearing a sweeping black veil for many years.
That brings us to Section 3, the power of words. So the rule here is simple, but honestly pretty severe. Idle words create strict laws for the player. Remember how the subconscious has no sense of humor. Shinn tells this cautionary tale of a wealthy woman surrounded by beautiful things, but she repeatedly complained and joked that she was sick and tired of things and wished she just lived in a trunk. Well, because the subconscious takes you entirely literally, she eventually spoke herself into absolute poverty and ended up literally living out of that very trunk. Talk about needing to watch what you say.
Next up is Section 4, non-resistance and karma. Like any game, there are penalties. Karma is a Sanskrit word meaning come back. Shinran Joki describes it as the uncompromising law of cause and effect, where a person receives only that which they give. If you project criticism, you're going to receive criticism right back. It acts like this giant cosmic boomerang that perfectly reflects your actions, thoughts, and words right back into your path. But here is a really fascinating contrast between the old rule and the new rule. The old rule is the law of karma, reaping exactly what you sow. But the new rule is the law of grace. Shinn explains that you can actually override negative karma by practicing non-resistance. This means doing things like blessing your enemies or actively refusing to react in anger to an obstacle. Doing this activates what is basically the ultimate cheat code, known as the law of grace. It literally wipes the slate clean and frees you from that endless cycle of cause and effect.
All right, Section 5, intuition and divine guidance.
So how do we know what specific moves to make to advance? The answer is to follow your hunches. Intuition is your unerring guide. Shinn emphasizes acting on intuition without letting your reasoning, conscious mind overthink it. She demonstrates this perfectly with the story of a desperate woman who had exactly $8 to her name. Shinn told her to just follow any hunch she had. The woman felt this totally random urge to take a train to our distant hometown, even though her logical mind was screaming at her to stay in New York and find a job. Well, she followed that intuitive lead anyway and miraculously linked up with an old family friend, ending up receiving thousands of dollars. Unbelievable, right?
But that really begs the question, how do you effectively impress the subconscious to actually guarantee this kind of success? Because simply knowing the rules intellectually just isn't going to cut it. You have to transition to what Shinn calls active faith.
To truly trigger these rules, Shinn says, you must dig your ditches. This means you need to prepare for the thing you asked for, even when there is absolutely no sign of it in sight. For example, she talks about a woman who proactively bought brand new blankets for an apartment during a severe housing shortage in New York. Her reasoning mind was definitely telling her she was wasting money, but she bought them anyway to prove her expectancy. You literally have to act as if you've already won. And in her case, that act of faith won her an apartment over 200 other applicants.
And finally, we arrive at the end game. Section 6, winning your divine design. So what does winning actually look like? Winning is realizing the divine design. This is a perfect picture residing in your superconscious mind. It's what she calls the square of life, encompassing 4 distinct elements: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. Winning the game isn't merely about visualizing a giant pile of money or forcing a specific relationship through personal willpower. No, it's about casting off fear and utilizing perfect love to discover the completely unique destiny you are meant to fulfill. To truly win the game, you've got to equip yourself with these exact tools. First, erase fear, recognizing it's just inverted faith, which is faith in evil instead of good. Second, practice selfless love without demanding anything in return. Third, consistently follow your intuitive leads. Fourth, dig your ditches by demonstrating active faith. And finally, demand your divine right. By doing all this, you begin to see every single obstacle as merely an illusion, ready to be cleared away simply by your non-resistance. I want to leave you with this final, incredibly powerful quote from Shinn. There is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill. Something you are to do which no one else can do. As you ponder that, ask yourself, what inactive faith or idle words are keeping you from realizing your unique destiny today? Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the content.